Hello and welcome to Express Drives. If you're a big fan of BMW SUVs or rather SAVs, sports activity vehicles is what they call it, well, then you have another thing coming. We have the all-electric iX with us. Now we're not going to talk about its looks, its design, because you're going to tell us and you will tell us also what you associate its styling elements with. But don't be fooled by its larger than life design, because it is a thorough BMW. And what does that mean? It means sublime driving dynamics and of course a lot of features, luxury, comfort, safety all together. So today we're going to talk about 5 things about the iX. So the first thing we're going to talk about are these massive kidney grills, and we're not going to get into the design aspects, rather the technology behind it. Now these 2 kidney grills actually house the state-of-the-art sensors, radar as well as camera, so it ensures that the car is safe. Now moving on forward, if you look at the coating, now BMW has used a very special nanoscale coating, and because of that coating they claim that, or rather they call this grille self-healing. And why so? Because when you're driving on the road, it's inevitable that it gets mild scratches or chips from a pebble or a rock. Well, it heals by itself, and all you have to do is leave the car for under 24 hours in room temperature, or if you want a quick job done, then around 5 to 10 minutes of warm air, and it heals by itself. Now that is quite amazing. Now BMW has opted a minimalistic mantra for the iX. Now what does that mean? Well, the cabin itself welcomes you with a lot of luxury of course, but it has a clean design and very easy to move around, work around and understand the functions. You obviously get the 14.9-inch curved infotainment system, which is slightly tilted towards the driver, so it's easier for the driver. Then of course you have again the driver's console, which is all digital, which is attached to the infotainment system, and that is a 12.3-inch console in itself. Now what we need to talk about is the driver console, and it has multiple options. You can change the dials, you can increase the size of the gauge, if not reduce it, and the best part here is when you sync your phone with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, that navigation device map can also be transferred into the console right here, so it's just going to be a lot more easy for the driver. But the cherry on the cake here has to be the iDrive console. Now it has this wooden panel right here, which is a class apart because it's got haptic touch buttons which is embedded in this panel, so it is just a beautiful thing altogether. On top of that, it's got this crystal dial right here, and you get more of these crystal buttons on the side buttons right here on the door, and also the volume button right here. So again, you see a lot of class. Now the good thing about the new system here is that BMW also claims that the voice command is just a lot more human. It feels like as if you're having a conversation. And also, it's not just that you can command it by calling it, "Hey BMW," you can also set a different name. "Hey BMW."
I am here.
Increase the cabin temperature.
I will increase the temperature. It will be more comfortable shortly. Let me know if it gets too warm for you.
Decrease the cabin temperature.
I will reduce the temperature. It will be more comfortable shortly. Let me know if it gets too cold for you.
We're driving the iX40 variant, and it is powered by 2 electric motors. The front one on the front axle has an output of 190 kilowatt, while the rear has 200 kilowatt. Now the total output of the vehicle is limited like any electric vehicle, so it has a total output of 322 bhp. Now it also comes in 3 different driving modes: sport, efficient or eco, or personal. Now, just to show you or tell you how fast or how capable the vehicle is, it does 0 to 100 kilometers in just 6.1 seconds and has a top speed of 200 kilometers per hour. Now, moving on to the battery capacity, it is 76.6 kilowatt, and it can be charged within 8 hours if you use an 11 kilowatt wall mounted charger. But if you have an option to use a 50 kilowatt DC charger, then it will be charged within 1 hour and 20 minutes, but it will be 80% of the capacity. Now, it can be charged faster, but then you'll have to see if there's an option to get a 150 kilowatt charger. The iX40 is based on a new chassis. It's actually an enhanced chassis of the 7 series. They call it the carbon cage frame. It not only is a lot more rigid, but it is also lighter. So when it comes to handling, it feels a lot more agile. It is quick off the corners. Yes, of course, there is a bit of a body roll, but that is expected from a big SUV. But that is where the suspension setup comes in, because it ensures that it does not lose its line when it's taking on corners. And at the same time, if you're also going over bad roads, it really does offer that very cushioning ride quality. So again, the people inside don't have any discomfort at all. Now, moving forward to the steering wheel, which is kind of like a centerpiece in itself, the hexagonal shaped steering wheel. It may even look a bit ungainly or a bit big, but you have to remember it is a BMW and it is quite responsive. It is lighter than other BMW cars, other BMW steering wheel, but it still has that direct approach. It gives you feedback and it behaves the way you want it according to your requirement. So all in all, the iX40 does maintain that typical BMW driving characteristics. Now let's find out about the front. Come, let's check it out. There is no front. Can you believe it or not? That's right. There is absolutely no cargo space in front, but there's a little hidden thing right here in the logo. You press it and opens, and this is where you put washer fluid. So, well, you win some and you lose a lot, I guess. Now, we have spoken about its standout features, but now we're going to talk about the not so great features, and this is our last and final point. Now, when you look at the dimensions of the iX, it is more or less like its sibling, the X5. So it is a big car. But then, how is the cargo space management? And that is exactly what we're going to find out. Let's take a look at the boot. Now, if you take a closer look at the boot, it is only 500 liters, and I'm saying only 500 liters because it is less than the X5. It's less than even its competition. And when you look at the size of this vehicle, it somehow just doesn't justify. And the reason for that is because of the charging system and the rear motor on the rear axle that takes space. But you do have a bit of a shelf space right here, but on and all, it is fairly average. Let's first talk about the elephant in the room. Now, we are driving the X-Drive 40 version, and that is priced at 1.16 crores. That is a lot of money. But then when you look at what this vehicle offers, it's a massive vehicle. It has a lot of space. It's like a lounge. It is so luxurious. It comes with all the features you can think of. It has regeneration system. It's got all the driver's assistance system. You name it, it has it. So if you want everything, it is going to be expensive. On top of that, it also retains that BMW driving experience, and it also has a very, very comfortable ride quality. So all in all, it is going to be expensive because it tick marks in almost all the boxes. But if you're in the market for a premium all-electric SUV, then we suggest go to a BMW dealership and find out how good the iX is. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, then what are you waiting for? Go ahead, subscribe, and do click on the thumbs up button. And we have purposely not talked about the design of the iX, so we really would love to hear from you. What is your take about the design? Also about the price.